Okay, good morning. It is 3 minutes until Dewey's 24-hour readathon starts. I'm going to try to stay up the entire 24 hours, which is going to be interesting because I have church tomorrow, so I'm going to stay up for the entire 24 hours. Plus, as soon as the readathon ends, I have to get ready for church, and then as soon as that happens, I go to church, and then I'll get done with that, and then I'll come home, and then I'll crash. So it'll be like tomorrow afternoon before I get to sleep. But really quickly, my TBR is basically just a continuation of the books from the previous readathon that I did last week. If you didn't see that, the link of the vlog will be down in the description box below. But basically my plan is You by Carolyn Kepnes, which is 422 pages. Then we have Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. This one it's like 400 something pages. And then we have The Raven and Other Edgar Allan Things graphic novel. And this one is 180 something pages, 50, 60, 159 pages. And then I also have the audiobook for Jane Steele. So those are the different things that I have to choose from. I definitely want to try to at least complete the graphic novel, one of these two, and Jane Steele. That's my goal, is to complete one of these two, this one, and Jane Steele. So hopefully I can do that. And I think I'm going to start with I'm going to start with You by Carolyn Kepnes. So that is my plan. I'm going to start with this one. And it is time. So I'm going to go and get to reading. I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so it is time for a check-in because it is now about 3 hours in. It is almost 10 o'clock. And I have Tessa. This is my aunt and uncle's puppy. Well, she's not quite a puppy, but she's really sweet. And she's cuddling, and I think she has the hiccups. And then Sam's over on my bed, chilling. My sister's drying her hair, so I'm sorry for the background noise, but it's been pretty slow going trying to get started on. I am about almost 100 pages into You by Carolyn Kepnes, so that's not very good for 3 hours worth of time at all. I did have to do some other things, like stop and not be reading like the whole time, but still, like I wish I was a faster reader. Like, I feel like just my reading pace is slow now. I used to read faster than I do now, I swear. I am still on my first coffee. I'm taking my time and sipping it. Got my music playing on Spotify, so I'm gonna get back to reading. Hey guys, so I decided I would do an update. It is about 11:30. I'm on page 145 of You by Carolyn Kepnes, which is about 30-something% through this book. I was hoping to get halfway through before lunch, but I'm really hungry. So I'm going to go grab some food really quickly, and I'm going to listen to Jane Steele while I go get food, while I eat, and then I will come back to You by Carolyn Kepnes after food has been consumed, and I still have a buddy. Alright, hey guys, so I've just been listening to Jane Steele. I've listened to about 2 chapters, and I just finished eating, so I think I'm going to finish the chapter I'm on right now, and then maybe go back to the Carolyn Kepnes. The plot definitely did improve, though, if you watched my previous vlog about when I was reading this with the last readathon. The plot was kind of getting blah, and it's kind of like getting back into something more familiar to me now. It's been a long time since I've read or watched Jane Eyre, and so I really do need to refresh myself on the plot and how things go and stuff like that. Hey guys, so I decided I would do an update. It is 2:38 and I am now about halfway through You by Carolyn Kepnes. I just have like 10 more pages to be officially halfway through. But I need a break from it. I'm enjoying it somewhat, but it's also messing with my head. It's extremely well written. There's more sexual content than I would prefer to be in it. It's unnecessary. I'm not sure what this is considered to be. Probably an adult thriller or new adult thriller. I will check on that, but that's what I would say it probably is. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break from that and maybe read the first story, at least, from the graphic novel, just to give myself a bit of a break from physically reading physical book. It depends on how long reading one or two of these takes as to how much I will, if I continue to read this, or if I go back to reading this one. It depends. We'll see. But that's my plan, is just to take a little bit of a break and do something a little bit easier to read. And yeah, so it is still pretty early on. We have quite a bit of this readathon left. We're not even halfway through it yet. When I realized that, I was like, oh my gosh, I still have plenty of time. I'm like getting frustrated with how slow reading this is going for me, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to read 50 books during one readathon. It is okay. Guys, update time. I just finished my first book. So this is the first book that I have completed. It is the Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven and Other Tales graphic novel. A quick overview of my thoughts. I thought some of the art was really good, and I thought, let me rephrase that. I thought all of the art was really good. I feel like some of the things that were in it weren't very well portrayed, though. For example, in The Raven, I feel like the man's emotions weren't conveyed very well or very properly. And so, they did take out the parts where it says, like, quote the Raven. It literally just had it in, like, the speech bubbles for that kind of thing. I liked the fact that almost every page had the page numbers, though, so I was able to keep up a little bit more with where I was at. I think my favorite, the system of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather. Anyways, so I will check back in with you guys a little bit later with some more updatey things and stuff like that. So, quick update. I am about to rebraid my hair because I am leaving in just a minute to go eat dinner with some of my family. It is 5:30 and I need to eat anyways. So I'm gonna do that. And I mean, we're still only about halfway through the readathon. So I have the entire nighttime when I'm not going to be disturbed by anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little tiny bit of time away from attempting to read. I hope the lighting is a little bit better in this vlog. Let me know. I am actually using a studio light today. Guys, so it is 8:40 at night, so it's about a little over halfway over. At this point, it's 2 hours past halfway over. So we still have a lot of reading time in the day. Well, in the night. So I am on page 260-ish in You by Carolyn Kepnes, and I am definitely going to be doing a review on this book because I have so many thoughts. Anyways, I'm going to go get back to reading. I kind of just tried to read on and off between conversation and like just tried to get some reading in while I was visiting with them at the same time. They weren't bothered by it, and we'll see each other tomorrow when I'm not doing a readathon. So I'm gonna go and try to get some more reading done, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, hey guys, it is 1 in the morning. So, that's fun. I just completed You by Carolyn Kepnes. Book drop. Just kidding, I didn't drop it, I set it down gently. But anyways, I'm really excited that I finished that book. So I have completed 2 full books and part of another book. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna sleep or not. I could stay up the rest of the time, or I could go to sleep. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm very conflicted. And if I stay up, what will I do? Audiobook or physical book? I think I'm going to continue on Jane Steele, the audiobook. I think that's what I'm going to do. Also, I made tea. So I got tea. If I change my mind, I'll let you guys know. How about that? I'm going to go listen to at least a couple of chapters of audiobook, even if I do end up deciding to go to sleep. Hey guys, it is almost 4 a.m. and I'm still going strong with Jane Steele. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be able to finish it. I'm really close. I think I'm going to be able to finish it because it's like 2 hours and 18 minutes left. So I think I can do it. Yay! And I'm just working on some little things to send to pen pals and kind of designing what the envelopes are gonna look like and stuff for a few of my pen pals, just to send out a few Halloween themed letters and stuff like that. But I'm going to keep reading. I need to get this done. Let's go. I can do it. Let's go. Good morning. It is 6:56 in the morning, and I finished Jane Steele, but I forgot to do the recording, so here it is. I will do a wrap-up of some kind later. Okay, so I'm wanting to get this filmed really quickly. So it's Sunday, the day after the readathon, or the day that the readathon ended. However you want to look at it, I guess. And I wanted to film kind of a wrap-up of how everything went for me and everything, and kind of end the video. So, if you didn't see the previous readathon, then you didn't know that I started, that I read the entirety of one book, and then I started and worked through parts of the audiobook Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. So then I decided that I was going to continue that audiobook and I planned to complete that throughout the course of the 24-hour readathon that I participated in yesterday for this vlog. So that was one of my goals, and then the other goals were to read the Edgar Allan Poe graphic novel and You by Carolyn Kepnes, and hopefully maybe even start Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. I did meet most of my goals, so that's good. I was, realistically, I knew I probably wasn't going to get through all of the books that I wanted to read, so that's why I said at least start the Hunting Prince Dracula. In an ideal world, I would have read that one in its entirety as well, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. So it was just there in case I needed another book. So basically how this went. So I started out the day reading You by Carolyn Kepnes, and I read about 3/4 of the way through this before lunch. Then I took a break from this and went to the audiobook on my phone, Jane Steele, and I listened to a couple of chapters of that before I switched back to You by Carolyn Kepnes, and I read on this for a good while. I got about halfway through this and really needed a break from this format and from this book. Something to break it up that was a little bit easier of a read. So I picked up Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven and Other Tales graphic novel, and I read this in its entirety in about an hour's worth of time, an hour and a half. And then I went back to You by Carolyn Kepnes, and I read, and then I ended up leaving and going to have dinner with my family. And so we went and we ate dinner, and I came back, and I tried to read the bits here and there while they were talking. If I was not involved in the conversation, then I just went back to my book. But if they tried to engage me in conversation, I would definitely talk to them. I wasn't going to be like, no, my book. But so anyways, I got through the remainder of this book. After my family left, I finished You by Carolyn Kepnes, and then I had the perfect amount of time. I finished this around like 1-ish, and so or maybe 2-ish, 1 or 2-ish. So I had the perfect amount of time to complete the audiobook Jane Steele. So I completed this one, and then I completed this one, and then I completed the audiobook. Which is funny because I started this one first. I started this first, and then I started this, and then I started this, and it's the reverse order of how I finished them, so that's kind of funny. When I was listening to the audiobook, I made the mistake of closer to the end, around the 5, almost 6 o'clock range, I may or may not have laid in bed. And that was not a smart life choice. Plus the fact that I had broken up listening to this so much, and it was so segmented. I really think that I'm going to go back and either re-listen to this or get the physical book and physically read it at a slower pace and more consecutively, because I feel like although I did enjoy the story and I do think that I liked it, I feel like I would like it a bit more if I had it all at once, and if I wasn't falling asleep through the ending. And I literally had to re-listen to the ending when I got up this morning because I couldn't remember how it ended. So I listened to the final chapter again after I got up and while I was getting ready to go to church. And I could have just picked up the next book and at least have officially started it, so I could say at least I started the last book that I was going to read today. But I didn't do that. No. I am a dummy, and I got over on my bed instead of sitting in this chair or that chair, so I fell asleep. Dummy. And I did pretty good, though. I was pretty proud of myself. I stayed up by staying on Twitter and staying active. I stayed on my laptop a lot. Through that, I scrolled through Pinterest mindlessly, but keeping, looking at stuff, like actually actively looking at the things, but my mind was on the plot, but that way I was physically actively doing stuff. I did that for a while. I got up, I worked on prepping some things for some Halloween pen pal letters that I'm going to be sending out.
About your worries and your stress. I mean it, bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Yeah, bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your stress. I mean it.